Hello everyone, welcome to Career Launcher. My name is Abhilasha and today I'm going to be talking about MICAT descriptive writing. Of course, MICAT is one of the examinations that comes after CAT and is specifically conducted by MICA, which is Mudra Institute of Communication and Advertising in Ahmedabad. Now, MICA is one of the premier institutes for advertising, communication, marketing related brand management, and so on and so forth. Now, what happens is after CAT, MICA has a separate entrance which is called MICAT. Now, there are two versions of MICAT. One happened already in December, and the second version of MICAT is going to happen in February, right? So MICAT has several sections to it. The first one of the sections is a psychometric test, then you have a creative writing, then you have a divergent thinking. So there are several sections to your examination. Today I'm covering the MICAT descriptive writing section. Now in the descriptive writing section there are two parts to it. The first part, guys, is a picture based composition. So you're given 4 pictures and you have to write a story based on that. The second part of the descriptive writing test has 3 small essays that need to be written. So a topic is given. You have to write for the topic a few lines. You have to write a few lines against the topic, and then subsequently you have to write the managerial perspective related to that topic. So in today's session, I'm going to tell you exactly how to write these essays. What are the do's and don'ts? What is the checklist for anyone who's writing or who's creating this test, these essays? Remember, the essays are always graded once you clear the exam, but they are graded and therefore they are important in the entire scheme of things for your selection, right? So therefore, let's get started. I hope you guys are here. If you're here and live and with me, then can you quickly give me a like, right? Also make sure you share the session, and also if you have time, then please subscribe to the channel, because once you've subscribed to the channel, then and only then can you participate in the live chat. So remember to hit like, share and subscribe. And also guys, I hope you're able to see me and hear me. If you are here, give me a yes or give me your name in the chat box. I will be very, very happy. Okay, so let's get started with MICAT descriptive writing. This is going to be everything about descriptive writing and the creative writing section. So let's do this. Okay, so what does MICAT mean by story writing or descriptive writing? Now, in MICAT, it's not something which is just written for whims and fancies. Please understand, this is not a test just of your creativity. It is a test of creativity, but it is a test of structured creativity. It is asking you to create a narrative. It is looking for emotional intelligence, and it is looking to relevance to human behavior, brands, or society. Please understand that MICAT is training you for a career in brand management, in marketing, in communication, in advertising. So, there in all of these, a story is essential. So, whether it is a picture and you have to tell a story, whether it is a brand and you have to create a brand story, whether it is a product and you have to create a product story, it is essential that you are able to connect different things and create a journey or create a story. So therefore, it is when MICAT says, or when MICA says that here is a story that you need to write, please understand it is not about how whimsical your story can be. It is always about structured creativity, narrative logic, emotional intelligence, and relevance to behavior, brand, and society. You're generally given 4 pictures and you have to write one coherent story which connects all the 4 pictures and all the elements in that. So when you write your story, remember to add all the elements in that. Generally, the question gives you 4 pictures and they say, okay, write a story, and whatever sequence of pictures you are taking, you must mention that sequence of pictures. Now, what are the things that are actually being evaluated? So number one evaluation is of coherence, the logical flow of the story, and that there is no randomness here. Then the second thing that is being tested is completeness, that there is a clear beginning, conflict, and then a resolution of it. So completeness is the second thing. The third thing that they're testing is creativity with control. So the story has to be original, believable, right? The next thing that they're testing is emotional or thematic depth, because please understand, all advertising, marketing, communication is about connecting with the audience, connecting with the customer. So therefore, how much human insight it has, is it insightful, is it actually connecting to the audience? And then last but never the least, it is all about the audience. So language clarity, is the audience able to understand what is being said? The errors can be tolerated if the meaning is clear. So is the audience able to understand the meaning? These are the things that are being tested, guys. So how would you write a story? So here is a 5-step story framework that I'm giving to you. Please use it to create your stories. Okay. So what are these steps? Let's do it step by step. So step number 1, observe. So give yourself 35-40 seconds to read the pictures. Identify who are the people. In each picture, what is the setting? Okay. What is the emotion? Is it positive, negative, happy, sad, ecstatic, melancholic? What is the emotion? What is happening? So the action in each image. So 4 things we are checking. Who are the people? What is the setting? What is the emotion? And what is the action? Then look for common threads in the pictures. Is it a time? Is it a mood? Is it an object? Is it a conflict? Or is it a flow? Or something? So look at your pictures. Then step number 2, decide on the central idea. So create a sentence. What am I talking about? So there will be one core idea in that story. The core idea could be a choice. It could be ambition versus ethics. It could be loss and resilience. It could be an identity thing. It could be trust. It could be a transformation story also. So all the stories should revolve around one core idea. So once you have looked at those pictures, decide what is that core idea that you're talking about, that you're going to be writing about. So that's step 2. Step 3, you structure the story. Okay. Use the BCR model. The BCR model is the simplest. Start with the beginning, then go to a conflict, and then resolve the conflict. Okay. Ideal length could be 180 to 220 words. It could be a little more or a little less. So the beginning will be you set the context and you talk about who the characters are, characters, whoever. So the first part of your story, the first paragraph sets out the story. The second part of the story will be highlighting the conflict. And the third part of the story should resolve it. So that's your BCR model, the beginning, conflict, and resolution. So you set the context and the character. Then you bring in the tension, dilemma, or turning point. And then you finally end with the insight or the decision or the outcome. What is the story? Step number 4, humanize, don't dramatize. So the story should not be very extreme. So avoid extreme drama such as murders, miracles, cinema plots, because you are looking at connecting with people, not giving them imaginary stories, right? It cannot be a chimerical story. Prefer subtle human moments, emotions, give an emotional high. Okay, that's required. Show change in thinking or emotion. So there is a tension or a dilemma or a turning point, and how that turning point happens. Show that. MICAT will prefer psychological realism but not Bollywood twists. So therefore, don't bring in any leaps of fantasy or faith. Don't bring in an alien in your story. Okay. And step number 5, end with the meaning. What is the learning? What is the decision? What is the change? What is the consequence? Whatever. Okay. Don't give a very cliched ending. The cliched endings don't work very well. Okay. But end with some meaning there. Okay. So I hope you've understood this 5 step. First is observe, then the central idea, then the story structure, then the human element, and finally, what is the outcome? These are the 5 steps that you take to your story. Okay. All right. Now, what are the common mistakes that we make? Number one, we describe each image separately. So here is picture 1, here is picture 2, here is picture 3, and here is picture 4. No, you will not describe each image in each paragraph. There has to be a flow of thought, so don't describe the images. You will be penalized for lack of integration. The story has to integrate all the pictures. Mistake number 2, random creativity. Again, there has to be one theme that is connecting your stories. So there has to be a thematic unity in the pictures that you have to find. Very complex, complicated language. Keep it simple. KISS is a philosophy that works very well. Okay, simple. Also, number 4, don't preach. There is no sermon. You are not a guru, and the audience is, or your examiner is not your, student. So show insight, but don't preach. Don't give gyan. No gyan at all. It's a story, so make it sweet, soft, sweet, connecting with humans. But don't say why or don't give gyan on it. All right, here is a very cute set of pictures. Okay, and you can write a short story. So now let's look at this. So there are 4 pictures. The first one shows an empty office. There is a computer that is on. There's chair, there's table. So probably the person is away. There is a train where metro or train where people are standing there. There's no space. The third is a resignation letter that somebody has in his hands, and number 4 is a blank slate. So essentially, these pictures are sort of talking about somebody who's working very hard, very long. He has a tough life, so he decides to resign and start a new life or something like that. Correct. So the story would have to be something like this. So if these are pictures 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I would probably start with picture number 2, then go to picture number 1, then go to 3, and then finally go to 4. And again, we'll have to give the order of the pictures in the store in MICAT. So give the order of the pictures and then say, okay, here is a guy who's going to his office. He's working very hard and he has very long hours. He gets tired. Then one day he decides that he's going to quit. Why? You can give the motivation and all of that. And then finally, so then after all of this, he started his life in another city. Something new has happened. Okay. So you can write a story like that. Okay. Here. So there is a small story that I got ChatGPT to generate. Let's take a look. So picture number 1, the empty office cubicle late in the evening. Office lights had gone out long ago, yet Rohan remained seated at his cubicle, staring at the glowing computer screen. The emptiness of the workspace reflected years of mechanical routine rather than fulfillment. So for the first time, the silence forced him to confront his growing dissatisfaction. He's unhappy. Picture number 2, there's a crowded local train. So the next morning, he's in the train, pressed among strangers. Everyone is traveling somewhere, but no one knows where they're going. The daily commute, which was once familiar, is now suffocating and meaningless. Then the third one is a resignation. So he hands in the resignation. He's scared because there is security in the job, there is fear of the unknown. Where will he go? What will he do? It's not a rebellion, but an honest admission that something is missing and he needs that. So the need for fulfillment. And then the fourth one, a blank billboard on a busy street says, okay, maybe he has the empty slate is a set of possibilities that can occur. So he realizes that his future does not need a script. He signs his letter, accepts uncertainty, and then moves on. So here are your 4 pictures, all connected in one story. So that's how you do it. Okay, look at your picture. So the theme is that he is unfulfilled and he is going to find a future for him, which is as yet not written down. Now, why is this a high scoring story? Why? Because all four pictures are used meaningfully. The story shows internal conflict and resolution. Yes, he's conflicted. He doesn't want to, he's tired of that repetitiveness. Resolution, he leaves. No forced, no unrealistic twist. See, it's not unreal. And then clear psychological and thematic arc, right? So he's unhappy, then he finds resolution. So that arc is there and very beautifully. So that is why this story works. Okay. Now, when you're submitting your essay, these are the things that you need to check. Number one, is the picture integrated? I have used all the pictures. Every picture is meaningfully connected to the story, not just described, but connected. No picture is isolated or irrelevant. So all the pictures are connected in the story, and the sequence of the pictures makes logical sense. You have to reorder. Well, if you do reorder, then also it must make sense. Two, the central idea thing. So, what my story is in one line, all the events in the story come to that one line. It's not a collection of random incidents described in the photos, and there is a human or psychological realistic theme. Number three, the structure and the flow. See, if you keep all of this in mind, your essay will go very well. There has to be a clear beginning, there is conflict, and then there is a decision or a change or realization. The BCR model has to be very clearly done: beginning, conflict, and resolution. The ending is a very logical one. Then creativity. Please understand, the creativity has to be controlled, not chaotic. So you show original thinking, not cliches. Creativity is through ideas and insights and not exaggeration. Don't have unnecessary drama, and symbols have to be used clearly and relevantly. Then the fifth thing is language and clarity. Sentences are clear and readable. Minor grammatical errors, ideally, you should not have. Vocabulary is simple and precise, and no spelling or tense errors. So keep your grammar and vocabs footed. Psychological realism, it is very, very important. The characters should be real people, not Superman and Spider Man. Emotion should be shown through actions and thoughts. There has to be self awareness or insight, and the tone is mature and authentic and not cartoons. Okay, so that the word limit, please follow the word limit. Please, if you're writing, make it clear. If you're typing, then there is no problem. Paragraphing has to be very clear. Create paragraphs, BCR, beginning, conflict resolution, or para 1, 2, 3, 4, continuing the story. And then the final self check. This you do. If the examiner reads my story, he is able to understand the idea. The story is honest, coherent, and complete. And I don't need to explain my story after I have, somebody reads it. It's understood. So this is your checklist. Okay. The second thing. So like I told you, there are two parts to the descriptive writing. The first is a 4 picture. The second is a set of 3 perspective essays. Okay. So what is this multi-perspective essay? So they give you 3 prompts, and you have to answer for, against, and give the manager's perspective. So you think that MICAT is asking you for an opinion essay? MICAT is actually testing you for structured thinkings, perspective switching. So for the topic, against the topic, managerial balance and maturity, managerial reasoning, and clarity under constraint. So these are the things that are being tested in this, and not write an opinion essay. Now, here it is very, very important. Now, the rules are non-negotiable. All parts have to be answered. No emotional extreme, no repetition. Manager's view is not equal to personal opinion. Examples should support, they don't dominate. So the idea, then the example. Okay. Use the 555 thinking grid. So the section number 4, why does this statement make sense? For the against portion, why is it incomplete or flawed? What's the problem? And the managerial perspective, how does a decision making authority act in reality? Okay. So how will you write? You start with a claim. It should be very, very clear. Then give the logic or reasoning, and then how it connects to the prompt. The prompt could be for, it could be against, or it could be managerial. They will generally ask you to give 3 or 5 points, 3 points generally. So write like that. All the 3 points, point, reasoning, and connection to the topic. Now, how do you manage your language? So remember, neutral tone. Use analytical verbs such as suggest, indicate, implies, highlights. Use balanced phrases such as while it is true that, however. Okay. The don'ts are, don't use absolute words, always, never, only. Don't use emotional words, disgusting, amazing, horrible. No, balanced language. Don't sermonize. This, see, I have told you earlier also. Do not preach. It's not needed. Now, how do I differentiate between the against and the manager's view? The against view is to critique the statement, okay, to highlight the problems, the limitations, and to offer a counter logic. The manager's view means you accept the complexity. Life is complex. You balance the ideals with problems, with constraints, and then focus on execution and trade offs. How would you manage? Okay. Now, what is the evaluation checklist? Have I answered all three? Are my points distinct across the three? Is my manager's view practical, not idealistic? Is my tone analytical and mature? And can an evaluator follow my logic? Please understand, you're trying to explain that you are able to see all three perspectives. So the evaluator should be able to read and understand. Now, for example, here's a very nice topic. In a market flooded with choices, only brands rooted in authenticity can build lasting trust. So, for example, this is the prompt. Then it will say, share your views in favor, share your views against. So, this is part one. This is part two. And as a manager in a company, share your perspective on the statement. So, this is the third part. So now you have to speak for, against, and the managerial perspective. So how would you write this? So you write, you in your own mind, think what is it that you can say and give the reason. So for example, authentic brands create consistency between promise and delivery. Because there is consistency, consumer confidence happens. In cluttered market where there's so many products, authenticity is a key differentiator beyond price and future. Very genuine. For example, Tata, very genuine. Consumers today can easily detect inauthentic messaging because of social media transparency. Authentic communication fosters emotional connection, not just transactional engagement. And long term trust is built when brands demonstrate values driven behavior over time. So, 5 points. You can write five. You can generally, they will ask you for three. So, write three. Then let's look at 5 points against the topic. So many consumers prioritize utility, convenience, and price over brand authenticity. So therefore, you don't need it. Trust can be built through consistent performance, even without a strong authenticity narrative. Perform every time. Authenticity is subjective, so somebody may feel it is authentic, some may not. Familiarity and market presence can often create trust through habitual usage, not necessarily values. And overemphasis on authenticity can distract brands from core operational values. So I have brought in 5 points against it also. And then look at the viewpoint as a manager in a company. So authenticity is internal discipline, not marketing. Trust is strengthened and brand promise aligned with actual what I can actually do. I promise that. Manager must balance authenticity with commercial realities and scalabilities. Transparent communication during failure can reinforce credibility. And sustainable trust emerges from a blend of ethical intent, consistency, and customer value. So, my points as a manager also have come out. Okay. Now, here are 5 different prompts that I have brought for you guys. Hi, Hriday. Hriday, we will be doing an MIMS competency test. Oh, you watched last year's session? Okay. We are going to do a competency test. If you are already a student of our PDP planned or PDP personalized, you would get the 5 competency tests. Okay. So feel free to watch them. Though I'll take a minute and explain it to you. Okay. So here are 5 different prompts I've given to you. For each of this, you write the pros, the cons, and the managerial perspective. In the age of social media, visibility matters more than credibility. Speed of decision making is more important than accuracy in competitive markets. Customer satisfaction can justify ethical compromises in business. Standardization is the enemy of creativity in organizations, and data driven decisions reduce the role of human judgment. Now, here are 5 prompts. My suggestion is that you take some time and write these out. Okay. And you can get them checked. Okay. All right. So the PDP course for CL is already on. We've got the personalized mentoring happening with all our pioneers of PDP. Do join in. If you wish to join, then scan this QR code for that. It is high time that you join. The daily dose tests for CAT 2026 are live now. You test daily, evaluate comparatively, and rectify immediately. There are 630 plus CAT tests, sectional tests, QAVR, CLRDI, video text and solution after every test, leaderboard for performance benchmarking. So CAT 2026 already on. Do join. All right. Okay. So Hriday, here is your answer. Okay. Give me a second. Yes. So for MICAT, they have said that there will be 30 questions, right? There will be 10 on verbal ability. So do practice PJ, para summary, odd sentence, okay? All of this. RC, short RCs. Then in the there is one managerial ability, which will be decision making. Okay, I think that is 8 questions. So practice from your ZAT stuff. Okay. Then there is one logical ability, or I don't remember, mental ability. The mental ability you can do, there are, I think, again, 8 questions in that, 6 in managerial, 8 questions here. So do all the verbal reasoning topics, statement assumption, statement conclusion, cause effect, course of action, syllogisms, conditionals, all of that. And then for quantitative ability, of course, it is basic quant, right? So this is the structure that is going to happen. Yes. No, we have put new mocks today. Hriday, we have put new mocks today. They are live now. Okay. So yes, we have put the new mocks for NMIMS competency test. Use the new ones, 30 question ones. Okay. Yeah. So if you have it on 3rd Feb, I don't know if we are doing a session this quickly. We are going to be doing it, but is it happening from now to 3rd? I don't know. But the tests are live, so you can take them. Okay. The new ones, the 30 question ones. Okay. So the NMIMS competency test, I will try and see if we can do it. Whoa, my goodness. They are available for our students. There are 5 tests. New pattern. Okay. The new pattern tests are there. So please use them. Okay. And yeah, Hriday, all the best for your interview. So do write the new pattern test. You will find it helpful. Okay, shall I end the session, guys? Thank you so much for joining in. All of you who were here, I hope this MICAT session was helpful. We are going to be doing more in these lines. Thank you. Bye-bye. Do write the essays that I have given to you. V is going to be, yes, Hriday. Last year also it was almost CAT level only. Almost CAT level. Absolutely. Because competency test is 60% of your selection now. So therefore it is going to be important. I will try. I will send a message today itself and we'll try and do a session. Okay. All the best, guys. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Good night. Bless you.